Whatever it is, hello. We are happy to see you here. I have an awesome guest with me today, Carrie West. If you don't know me, I'm Chris Colt, the challenge champion. Now, I know I'm actually on LinkedIn Live also. I see a bunch of you are joining. There's about a 27-second delay from when we talk to what you see, so understand that. But let us know where you're coming in from. We want to give shout outs to those that take a moment to get on live with us. So please just say, hey, so and so, we'll know when you comment where you're coming in from. And then also, this happens all the time. I get it. Team replay. If you're on team replay and you come back and watch this, just say team replay. Let us know where you're listening in from because we'll come back and address you also. But we're going to have some fun today, the feast or famine cycle. And this is something Carrie has helped a lot of people with. So we really want to talk about this. But Carrie, first, what I want to do, you're a rock star. You're all over the place. You got things launching. You're helping people. You were in Vegas the other day. You're on TV. Let's talk a little bit
Yeah.
about that. As people come in, what's going on in your life? You've been doing a lot lately.
Well, my book Money Rewritten came out a couple months ago, and boy, is it getting a lot of attention. I was invited to the Los Angeles Festival of Books, which is the largest book fair event in the country. I was going to say the world, but I think Dubai might be bigger now, or
Okay.
London, one of them. But LA is the biggest in this country. And it's such an honor because when you have a dream, and for years I went to that festival. I lived in LA near UCLA, and it was UCLA, and there I was signing books when I used to just go around and dream about being there signing books.
Yep.
So it was such a thrill. And then because of that, I guess a couple of morning news shows wanted to talk to me. So I've filmed a couple of segments, one in Vegas, one in Phoenix. I'm thinking about a couple more, but there's so many things going on right now. And there's something more important that I want to talk about, which is everybody that's listening and everybody who's watching on the replay. Something about that title must have hit with you, I would imagine.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. This is a title I know is going to get a lot of different folks talking with this, and I just want to give a shout out to Lisa out there. Hello from Phoenix, Lisa. So it's great to see you there. And like I said, as you come on, let us know. I see you pop in with a little quick chat. I'll put you back up there. But let's talk about this because this is a topic. You talk to people, and there's two types out there. Some that are just, it's like, holy cow, I have so much. It's so abundant and others like, ooh, I don't know how I'm paying tomorrow's bills, or I don't know how I'm dealing with this. Like, it's like no fine line and all that. But before we get in that, like, define what it is. What is a feast versus a famine? Like, give a little bit of how you would look at that when you're working with clients.
Well, you said it perfectly. Most entrepreneurs are one or two clients away from being completely out of business.
Yeah.
That's the nature of it. Especially if you're a solopreneur
Mm-hmm.
and you have yourself to count on,
Yeah.
and you are in a constant mode of finding your next client. And that's part of the nature of the beast. When somebody had said to me one time, I love what you do as a consultant and an independent person. I want to do the same thing. And it's like, okay, well, how many hours a week do you need? 40. Okay. And what's your hourly rate? $200 an hour. Okay. I don't think you have the right idea about what's involved in this work.
Yeah.
When you say 40 hours a week, raise your hand. How many people have worked 40 hours a week? Raise your other hand if you've not worked 40 hours a week, you've worked 80 hours a week. You know, I know both of them. I wish I had a 40-hour work week. I wish I had paid vacations. I wish I had paid holidays. Yeah, I wish I had sick days. But that's
Yep.
it. You are in a cycle of you're either really busy with a lot of clients and you're getting the job done, or you're in that cycle of I got to find more clients and get the job done.
Yeah.
When
It's funny as well. It's not funny, but that is the reality, especially as a solopreneur. What ends up happening is, hey, here I am, like just get 5 clients. Great. I'm busy for next month, month and a half. And then, a month and a half later, because I didn't do anything to go get new clients.
Yeah,
That then
yeah.
is a problem that we start
There,
to see out there.
there's this funny word that I just love, and I don't know who coined it, but we are always talking about a funnel. How
Hmm.
full is your funnel? And
Yep.
for salespeople out there, the funnel, the funnel. I hear you, Rosie. I'm the same way. I got both my feet in the air with that one. Um, the funnel, and salespeople know about the funnel. You have to
Hmm.
take people through the process, and they're this close. So how far away are they ready to close and make the decision and sign the contract? So I understand that. It's a funny word, but there's truth to it. You you are constantly networking, constantly looking for your next client, constantly putting yourself out there. And someone said something really wise to me one time. They said they said to me, "Client, I want to be my own boss because I never want to go on a job interview again." I said, "Nope, nope, 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 nope.
Yeah.
As an independent, you are on job interviews 24/7.
Seven. Yep.
Every time you meet somebody, you're on an interview. Even
Yeah.
when the minute somebody says, "What do you do?" You're on a job interview.
Yeah.
So there's the thing I work with people about is, what is that mindset? Can you handle this cycle? And now I have a way to end the cycle.
That's the cycle. I've been in business now 9 years, and I can relate to this cycle very early on, especially.
Yeah.
And it's not a fun cycle like to get stuck in on either. Well, on one side, it's a great cycle to be stuck. I could stay on the abundance side all the time. Hey, keep me
Yep.
there. But
Yep.
I don't even know if you use the word stuck when you're in that, because that means you're always progressing, right? If you're
Yep.
in that world.
Yep.
So let's look at a few reasons of why people do maybe get stuck more in the I'd say more on the, not the feast side, the famine side. Like, let's talk about that. Why do you see people getting stuck in that more?
Well, here's the thing. We have a mindset, and mindset's an overused word these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have so many people referring to your mindset. I like to think about, how do you view, what do you have the information? Are you walking into this fully aware of what's involved? Do you know, like I said, that you are in constant interview mode?
Yeah.
Not that you can't relax and have a good time, because you also want to show people who you truly are.
Yeah.
If you're in constant pro mode, nobody's going to be able to trust you. And trust is probably the
Yep.
single most important word with building your business.
Yep.
Do clients trust you? That's why that's why we have referrals from trusted network. That's why people will say, "Can you introduce me to people?" Because they trust you, and by extension, they should trust me. So you want to have that network of trust. But the other thing is, you have to have information. What does it actually mean to run your own business? And for people who are in the thick of running their own business, you know all that. You probably didn't expect it to be like
Hmm.
this.
Yeah.
So now you got to back up. And when I talk to people about shifting their underlying feeling about who they are in relation to being a business owner or a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, you may have a couple people supporting you. You may have some, you have a network of people you call on to help you build a website, help you do social media, help you do whatever. But do you have a comfort level with what you're doing? Do you really see yourself? Do you see yourself as a successful business person?
Yeah.
And you can tell this by the language you use when you're meeting somebody for the first time.
Hmm.
How proud are you to say, "Hi," and I notice it with you, Chris. You're really out there. I'm the challenge champion, baby, and I'm going to get you there. And I notice that when you can meet somebody for the first time and say, "Hey, I'm the founder of the Life Rewrite System. You need to know me."
Yep.
That confidence, because I see myself as that founder,
Yep.
just like you see yourself as the challenge champion.
Yep.
And I'm not saying you have to have a fancy name like the
Yeah.
challenge champion, although a lot of people are proposing that now. Have a kind of a kitschy name you have for yourself that people can relate to,
Yeah.
that people can remember. No one's going to remember I'm the founder of the life rewrite system. Sorry, I don't have a better title at this point, guys. I've toyed around with a couple others, but I don't have one. But when you do have that, people will remember you. The point is, do you own it? When you walk into a room, do you own that presence of who you are?
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah. Do you own it? Not apologetically, not, yeah, I'm the founder of, I provide. And I'm exaggerating to prove a point. I don't think anyone on this call does.
No.
Especially some of the people in the audience, but you have to own it. You have to own who you are. And then once you have that ownership, you start to develop confidence. And then here's what'll really help. When you have that confidence, you start making better decisions
Yeah.
and better choices so that you start to understand where you are. Makes sense, doesn't it?
It definitely does. It totally does. But yeah, like you said, that having that confidence, having that belief when somebody first hears out of your voice, and a lot of people, it takes a while, it takes some reps till you get that confidence, right?
Mhm,
I mean, let's just
mhm.
be real. Like you look at pro athletes, why do basketball players just 1,000 shots a day? Why? Why do
Yeah,
they do that, right?
yeah,
Why do people swim nonstop laps on a day before the big
yeah,
event? They put the
yeah,
reps in. So when they're in the situation, I got this.
yep,
Boom, this is what I
yep,
prepared for.
yep.
But I think that's another key there. I think that's a reason why, and you can enhance on this, I'm sure, but I think that's the reason why so many people get stuck in this. I'm not moving forward. Nothing's happening. Oh my gosh, where's my next client coming from? I think people get stuck in that so many times because they aren't moving that forward. They're not doing these kind of things.
Well, they're also focused on the wrong thing.
Yeah,
They're focus they're focused on the famine part and the fear.
yeah. Oh,
Another,
that's a good
yeah.
one.
There's a lot of fear.
Yeah,
And the question is, do you want to focus on the fear or do you want to continue to own? Because here's what's happening. You got to shift your perspective. You got to look through different eyes.
yeah,
First of all, any business, and again, just because you're an entrepreneur or a solopreneur or of somebody, and there is somebody out there who just set out a banner and all of a sudden they're a multi-billionaire. It's happened.
yeah.
You,
It does.
everyone on this call knows that person and you hate them. I know. How did they do it when I can?
Yep.
Everybody knows that person or everybody reads about it in the newspaper. So so the question is, what eyes do you want to use to look out at what you're doing? There's a reason why you started to become an entrepreneur. There is a lot of freedom in it. You
Yeah,
don't answer to a boss. You don't have to go to these ridiculous meetings at 1 o'clock in the afternoon that have absolutely no value for you. But
yeah,
you have to go. You have to go. And and maybe you enjoy them. I never did, but maybe you do. So no judgment. I just never did. But you make your own decisions about this. And that's a two-edged sword, double-edged sword, because your decisions aren't always based on moving forward. A lot of your decisions are fear based.
yeah,
Because you're afraid of not getting that client, you will undervalue your pricing. You'll take on jobs that really don't suit you
hmm,
and they're going to cost you more in the end because they're going to take a lot of your mind space.
oh,
So
that's a
when
good one.
you have a client that you took on because you're in fear mode,
Hmm.
and they run you ragged and they keep questioning your invoices and they don't seem to value you, that's another factor in this feast or famine cycle. When you're doing that, you're in the cycle, but that's step number 1. Acknowledge that there's a or famine cycle. Even if you're not really in it, like
Right.
in desperation mode, because you could be in it to some degree and it's livable, it's doable, because we all need to continually fill that funnel. I love that funnel. Funnel
Funnel.
and pipeline. Funnel
Yep.
and pipeline. Did the oil companies come up with this?
It probably did, right?
Yes, right after the late night and loads of work. Yes, 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 yes. I
Yeah.
I I worked in the entertainment industry and I worked for Mel Gibson right after he won all that stuff with Braveheart. And I remember Oscar party the night before, nobody came into the office the next day, but I did. And everybody was talking about how Mel Gibson was this overnight success and how he just created and got these Oscars, and he laughed. He was like, "Yeah, it took me 30 years to be an overnight success."
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it really did. It
Yep.
really did. But you have to understand the landscape of what you're doing and not judge it and try to have fun with it. Try to shift how you're viewing what you're doing because you're the one who makes this a fun ride.
Yeah.
You're the one, that brings the choice of freedom to what you're doing.
Yeah. Interesting what you said about Mel Gibson, but that's always the story. Like, hey, everybody sees that moment, right? I
Mhm.
mean, I'm a bike racer, and when I've watched so many cyclists do things that you're just like, how the heck did he do it? I know how they did it. Yeah, you know what? They probably have 200, 300, 400, 500,000 miles under their legs right now. Like,
Yep.
and things they did all the things we didn't want to do. That's just the reality. And yeah, it
Yep.
took them 10 years to have this one moment that might be the only moment in their life. It's a big one, and it might
Yep.
take them all the way to the next level. But something I wanted to point out, I was on a call earlier today where a person said this to me, and this relates exactly to what you said a little bit earlier. Bravery feels like fear. And I think when we're in that lack mode, that hey, nothing's going, or thinking that way, you actually are in a brave mode. You just don't realize you got to take the brave move, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a little
Absolutely.
bit?
Absolutely, absolutely. I was just talking to a friend of mine last weekend, and she was saying a very similar thing
Okay.
about I, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? This feels like I'm spinning wheels. I'm
Yeah.
I'm on a hamster wheel, and I can't seem to get any traction. What am I doing wrong? I said, right there. What? I said, even in your question, I'm looking at your body language. I'm looking at there's so much anxiety and so much fear. And I understand that. It is scary. You've got bills to pay, you've got commitments. You know, money is important for us to maintain our lifestyle. So you need that.
Yeah.
But when you approach it from a perspective of I'm afraid I won't have money, you're not focusing on your business.
No.
Focus on what can I do to get that client? What can I do to get that new client? Can I go to another networking event? Can I call somebody and say, "Listen, promote me so that I can get this client," or go on LinkedIn and say, "That'd be a great client for me. I know somebody who knows that person. I'm going to ask for an introduction."
Yep.
When you can stop sitting there and looking at the phone and going, "No one's answered my emails. I didn't get anyone to respond on
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna check
LinkedIn."
my LinkedIn while you're
Yeah,
talking.
let
There
me
you go.
check your LinkedIn. I'll keep talking here. How many of you are checking your LinkedIn right now to see, or your emails to see,
Or
have
they're in
you
their
heard
WhatsApp.
back?
Hey.
Yeah. Did anyone respond to my emails, or are you going after the next one?
Yeah. Ooh, that's a big one.
You know, look for one more person to meet. Look for one more connection to make.
Yeah.
Because that says it's going to happen. I know I'm going to get there. Yeah, you haven't answered me. It's your loss, baby.
Yeah. Hey, that's what it is. Each and every one of us bring an opportunity to a person or a company in life.
Yep.
And we cannot control if that person takes advantage of that opportunity. I don't care how
Yeah.
good you are. I have 30
Yep.
plus years corporate sales. I don't care how good you are.
Yep.
You can only bring a person to a point that they have confidence in themselves, and then they have to make the decision. They have to pull out their big girl or boy pants and make the decision themselves. You can't go manipulate that. So,
Yeah.
like, all you can do is not take the personal, hey, this person's ghosting me, this, that. Just go find somebody else. Because guess what? You might end up with many coming to you at once if you go with that attitude.
Well, let me tell you something. Here's something you really have to understand. How many people on the planet? 8 billion?
Hmm.
How
Something
many
like that.
people in this country? 300 million? Now, most of us could work with people all over the world.
Right.
So if you think about, yeah, of the 8 billion, not all of them are potential clients. But I would say at least half a billion people in the world are a potential client for
Yeah.
anybody on this call, right?
Yep.
So when you are focused on just the 2 or 3 you sent an email to this week,
Yeah.
You've got this teeny tiny focus when this world is huge.
Yeah.
So, how, instead of focusing there because you're scared and you need that client, I promise you, when you realize that there's so much more business out there and you can change the belief from fear to, I know I got this.
Yeah.
And this is why coaches can be really good and effective.
Hmm.
Because look, even me, as much as I know this, I even hit that "Urgh," and I call my coach and say, "All right, I'm in that "Urgh," and she'll laugh at me and she'll say, "I'm going to give you right back what you say to everybody else."
Yeah. Yep.
Ah!
But isn't it funny how that happens, right?
I know. And she gave me words right back, and I said, "You're fired. I'm never talking to you again." But she's right. She's right.
Yeah.
You have to keep the mindset. You have to hold so firmly that you are doing the right thing. And that when somebody wants to say, well, you're kind of high priced, then right there, when somebody says, well, you're kind of high priced, say, thank you. Thank you for that. I'm going to wish you the best. I promise you, when you fire them before they have a chance to go
Yeah.
down that path, they're gonna call you. I've done that, and then a couple months later, they call me, with their tail between, I was thinking about it, and
Conversation
I
now. So,
think I think I think I'm kind of ready to work with you.
yeah. Yeah. Well,
Okay, well, I don't know if I'm ready to work with you. Let's talk. and
and there is that. Yeah.
and you don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to be mean about it, but have that mindset. You don't even have to say a word. I'm saying this is how you know
Yep.
you're owning the talent that you are.
Words. It's all little words. I said something to somebody today, right? They are looking to
Mhm.
become a client. And I used 3 words, and I'll just say the words. I will finance this for you. And this is what the payment plan looks like, or straight up front. And the person, like, just those little words are like, why would you finance me? I'm like, I don't know. But if some people like that, I'm paying you up front right now. You just taught me something, right? 3 little words. I will finance you. Took them going from a payment plan to straight up payment. That's it.
That's 4 words.
Oh, I will. Yeah, all right. It calls me out. But look at what Lisa says below here, right? When you focus on your best right clients, you get clients like Carrie. Obviously, Carrie's a client, but like Carrie's fun to deal with, right? There's fun when we talk. We were on here before, chit chatting, having fun, right? And that's what I
Yep,
want. Those are the clients I want. I know those are the
yep,
clients you want. Obviously,
yep,
Lisa wants those kind of clients.
yep,
Rosie wants those kind of clients.
yep. But that's the point. But
Yeah,
you're owning that what you have is valuable.
yeah,
And of the potential half a billion people on the planet that could be your client, you're going to find your tribe. You're going to find your great fit. And believe me, there's multiple great fits. You really don't need to have half a billion clients to be successful.
no. You need a real small, very small, horrible rounding number,
Yeah,
right?
maybe 10. It'd be nice to have 100 in your back pocket,
Right.
but you haven't met them all yet. And believe me, you won't meet them all in your lifetime. So find ways to reach out. Find ways to meet them.
Yeah, yeah,
And when you're in that mindset of I only want to work with people who value what I do, will pay what I'm worth, and will respect and build a collaborative relationship with me, you will learn the most important sentence ever created by man. And guess what? It's pretty universal in most languages.
oh, got to tune into this. Let's go. What is it?
No.
That's a
Complete sentence.
that's a real complete sentence right there. Yep.
Well, maybe in other languages. I think in Russian it's "niet," and I don't know what it is in Japan. If anyone on this call knows how you say no in Japanese or Chinese, please put it in the chat. I'm curious.
Yeah.
But but even if you don't speak the language, everybody knows no.
Yeah.
And we don't use it. You don't have to use it with no. You can just say, "No, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that." Or find a way to say, oh, let me think about your request to do this for half price and 3 times the hours. Let me see if I can do that. And
Yeah.
then you just write them a note and say, I've considered this, but this isn't going to work for me. Let me know when you're available. there's ways you can be nice saying no.
Yeah, of course, of
Yeah,
course. I'm always big on keeping relationships live no matter what, right? That's important to
absolutely.
me. That's how I am. But yeah, you have to do that. So let's talk a little bit about how we can take this to the next level. I got a little thing sitting here, join intensive. I'm going to drop something here that you're all about to see, but we're going to take this conversation a lot deeper. So you can scan this code, and I'll actually drop it in the chat. Check this out. This should work. You should see this in the chat. If not, just scan the code. But you're going to do an intensive 2 days in June.
Yes.
So we're giving everybody plenty of notice. Why are we
Yes.
doing this? Carrie wants to make sure she impacts enough lives. And we talked about this. So let's just do this in early June. Let's make sure we have a whole month to get the right people together. So each and every one of you that are on here live are being given an opportunity early before we really market this. So you want to talk a little bit about what this is all about?
I have a program that absolutely takes you through and sets it in concrete for lasting change. And for 2 days, I introduce the program and actually bring up the most important aspect of it, the most important aspect of where you need to start for this change to happen. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I was promoting it on this interview I did yesterday on TV that'll be coming out in 2 weeks. So I'm hoping I have a pretty full class, although I am limiting it because I want this to be a lot of one on one work. But it's going to be for 2 days, 90 minutes each day. I think it's 11 to 12:30 Eastern time. But join me and we're going to have some fun. We're going to really get to work on getting you set up to end this feast or famine trap. Because you know what? I know everybody on this call and everybody who hears the replay has a real gift. They have something to offer the world. Own that. Own that gift. People need you. People want you. But remember, they're more afraid than you are. And that's another key thing. I'm giving you a couple of gems here. The people you want to hire you, they're more afraid than you are.
Ooh, that's big.
Raise your hand again if you understand what I'm saying.
I understand that 100%.
They're scared. That's why they need you. I think instead of calling myself the founder, I'm going to say the confidence builder because once you have that confidence and you know that you really have something to offer somebody, you're unstoppable
You
because
are.
people need you.
Mm-hmm.
People need what you have to give them.
Yeah. I mean, we all go through things in life. We figure things in life out for a reason. And when we get to a finish line, the first finish line, right? Because there's multiple things to do. When you realize that, wow, okay, there's how many billion people, like you said, how many people can I help on this process right now?
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about. It's about making a greater impact also. When you have
Yeah.
that confidence, when you have confidence, you will make a much more huge impact in this world.
And believe me, you will attract. When you can shift out of that fear
Yeah.
decision, you'll start attracting the ones who are really ready to use you. They're
Yep.
still going to be scared because change is scary.
Yes.
So, because change is scary, everybody on this call needs to hold strong with their confidence. There's so much uncertainty in the world that people are scared.
Yep.
But when you come through it with bravery and courage and confidence, that'll build trust faster than anything.
You know why too? Because it shows you don't have fear. I mean, we all have fear, but it shows you're not bowing down to that fear.
Yeah.
And people want to be around people like that. They
Yep.
just like one of my mentors, he's all about breaking fear out of people, like anything. He's like, listen, I'm almost 70 years old. Anything that comes out of your mouth that you think you're fearful of, I faced it all in my life. And guess what? I'm still here. Right? I'm still alive, still
Yeah.
breathing, still talking,
Yeah.
still helping people. That fear is
Yeah.
always going to be there if you let it be there,
You know,
whatever it is.
during COVID, my stepson said to me, "Have you ever experienced anything like this?" Nope, never. I've never been in a COVID. I've never been in a
Yeah.
shutdown like this. And I don't know anybody who has. And he said, "Well, how are you planning on getting through it?" I said, "Dude, I've been through so many things in my life. I've been through the civil rights movement, the ERA movements. I've been through shooting on college campuses. I've been through 9/11. I've been through Vietnam. Yes, I'm older. I'm not 35. Anybody who's wondering, um, you know, we'll get through COVID.
Yeah.
So what I do is it's like I'm on a surfboard on riding the big wave, and I relax into it. And yeah, there are moments you get scared. You wouldn't be human. Fear has a good place for you.
Yep.
But when you can and relax into it, it goes much better.
Oh, it totally does. And you give off different energy.
Yeah.
Very
Oh
different.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's attracting energy when you're in confidence and courage and bravery.
Well, I
It's
mean, I can give you a shout out here. Like I was going through something and I
mm,
shared it with you, right? I sent you a text one day, I gave you the voice message text. So that's when you know, oh boy. But in all
uh-oh.
seriousness, right? You ended up coming back. One thing I ask you to be aware of is how aware of what you feel right now is, right? And I actually came back to you and said, in the past, here's how I would have felt. Here's how I feel now. And
Yep.
you were just like, yep, you have now moved on to the next level. And it was
Yep.
a pretty big thing, right? Kind of stunk, sorry, what I had to deal with. And it wasn't fun. But in the past, it was like I knew how to deal with it now. And I dealt with it totally different. And guess what? It went away so fast.
Yeah.
So fast. I was like, oh, this is great. But I was aware of the shift in my feelings of that. And that was big.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that's 99% of it. That really is.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at how brilliant we are at creating great opportunities and great realities.
Yeah.
I'm always, always blown away with the power of the human mind and what we can do.
It's crazy.
That's why I know anyone hearing this or hearing the replay, you've got such a great gift. Share it with confidence, with pride, with fun.
Definitely. So we're doing good. We're right about the 30-minute mark here. We did good today.
Excellent. Good.
Yeah. So if you catch us on Team Replay, just let us know. Those that you came on live, we had Lisa, Rosie, Anna, saw a few others in there. If I didn't shout you out, I know we were up to about 18 on live. So that's
Wow.
pretty good. So some of you are hiding on us. But no, that's all good. But yeah, definitely reach out to Carrie. If you have any questions, ask me. I dropped the link in the chat. Scan this while we're still live or if on replay. But I highly encourage you 2 days with Carrie in a private session, 90 minutes a day. It's recorded. You get to ask questions. She's going to bring you through framework. You're going to come out the other side a much different person. That we promise you. So I'll let you close this out. I'm going to highlight you when you are done. Stay on when I hit stop. Okay.
Okie doke.
So go ahead. Say what you want. It's all you to close it out, Carrie.
Listen, I've said it a couple of times. It's time for us to play tall, not small. We need to play tall and own our gifts. The world needs us. They need our energy. They need our enthusiasm. They need our confidence. They need our leadership. Because isn't that one of the things that's lacking in the world today? We don't have any good leaders. But I know I've met a lot of people that are on this call. We are we are the future. So spends a couple half-hour days with or 90-minute days with me. Um, let's do this together. And thank you. Thank you. This was fun.
It's always fun. Always fun. So we thank each and every one of you for joining. If it was Team Replay or live, you know where to find us. Thank you for taking some time out of your day. I'm going to sit here and finish up some things with Carrie, but all of you got to go out and go find a client today. So I know for this will help you even find more clients. It's more important. Okay. Rosie's ghosting us. You ghosting us, Rosie? Hold on. Got a ghost right there. Yeah,
I love
Rosie's
you,
no fun.
Rosie.
Rosie's no fun.
I love you, Rosie. I miss you.
All right, y'all. It was great seeing you. I'm going to disconnect here. You know where to find Carrie. And yeah, Lisa, thank you for joining. Anna, thank you for joining. And I know a couple of you might hit thank you when we're done here because there's a little delay, but have a great day.